Walk onto any used lot in 2026, and the numbers look tempting. 3-year-old pickups with 40,000 miles, priced thousands below MSRP. Dealers calling them pre-owned value. Online listings screaming price drop. But here is what the sticker does not show you. The average used truck today is carrying a risk profile bigger than anything we have seen in the last decade. It is not just about miles and maintenance. It is about inflated residual values, hidden negative equity, financing traps, and repair bills that can turn a $25,000 bargain into a $40,000 nightmare. In this video, we are breaking down the one concern that should stop every used truck buyer before they sign. And trust me, it is bigger than a bad transmission or a rusty frame. It is systemic. It is financial. And if you do not understand it, you are the next victim. Let us start with the price tag. Used vehicle prices have come down from their 2022 peaks. On paper, depreciation is back to normal, around 12% annually for 2 to 6-year-old trucks. But here is the catch. The used vehicle retention index is still sitting near 140. Pre-pandemic, it averaged in the low 120s. Translation: used trucks are still priced dramatically higher than historical norms. That 3-year-old F-150 at $32,000 would have been $24,000 in 2019. So when you see a price drop, you are not getting a deal. You are paying a premium on top of an already inflated baseline. And because lenders use these inflated values for loan-to-value calculations, you are financing more than the truck is actually worth the moment you drive off. The market has not corrected. It has just stopped climbing. Now let us talk about how you pay for it. Used car loan rates in 2026 are running roughly 4 percentage points higher than new car rates. While a new truck buyer with good credit might see 6 or 7% APR, the same buyer on a used truck is looking at 10 to 12%. On a $30,000 loan over 60 months, that is the difference between $580 and $667 a month. And here is where it gets dangerous. A record 42.6% of underwater buyers turn to 84-month loans in early 2026 just to keep payments manageable. On a used truck, think about that. You are paying 11% interest for 7 years on a vehicle that is already 3 years old. By the time you pay it off, the truck is 10 years old and you have paid nearly $10,000 in interest alone. That is not ownership. That is financial quicksand. But the real killer is under the hood. Modern trucks are not simple anymore. Turbochargers, direct injection, 10-speed transmissions, hybrid systems, and enough sensors to land a plane. When they break expensive. The average annual repair cost for a full-size truck is already around $936. But that is just maintenance. A transmission rebuild runs $2,500 to $6,000. An engine replacement, $4,000 to $10,000 or more. And if you bought a used EcoBoost or PowerBoost out of warranty, a turbo failure or battery issue can cost $3,000 to $5,000 in a single visit. Labor rates are up. Technician shortages are real. And here is the worst part. The trucks built between 2021 and 2023 were engineered during supply chain chaos. Some parts were substituted. Some quality control was rushed. You are not just buying used. You are buying uncertainty. There is another risk nobody talks about. The seller's negative equity becomes your problem. With 28% of trade-ins underwater and the average deficiency near $7,000, a huge number of private sellers are trying to offload trucks they cannot afford. Some will hide it. They will ask for a higher price to cover their loan payoff. Others will try to roll the deficiency into a sketchy seller-financed arrangement. And if you buy from a dealer, they are absolutely rolling that loss into the next deal, inflating prices across the board. You think you are negotiating with a motivated seller. In reality, you are inheriting someone else's financial mistake. The used truck market right now is a graveyard of bad 2021 and 2022 loans, and every transaction has the potential to bury you alongside the previous owner. Then there is the history you cannot see. A clean Carfax does not mean a clean truck. Flood damage from 2024 hurricanes is still showing up in states far from the coast. Former rental trucks and commercial fleet vehicles are being sold as one-owner personal use because the title was transferred to a holding company first. And frame damage? Body shops are so good now that a bent frame can be pulled and painted to look factory fresh. The average buyer walks the lot, kicks the tires, checks the Carfax, and thinks they did their homework. They did not. In 2026, with values this high and inventory this tight, the incentive to hide, obscure, or outright lie about a truck's history has never been stronger. Trust is cheap. Verification is everything. Let us do the 5-year math, because this is where the illusion dies. You buy a used truck for $32,000. You finance it at 10% over 72 months. Interest adds roughly $5,000. Insurance runs $1,500 a year, so $7,500 over 5 years. Fuel, even on an efficient truck, is $2,500 a year, so $12,500. Maintenance averages $800 a year, another $4,000. Now add 2 unscheduled repairs at $3,000 each. Your 5-year total? Over $66,000 for a used truck. Meanwhile, a new truck buyer with better financing, warranty coverage, and lower insurance relative to value often ends up in the same ballpark with 0 mechanical surprises. The used truck is not saving you money. It is just delaying the pain and concentrating it into repair bills and high-interest payments. The deal was never real. So how do you buy smart in this market? First, never finance a used truck for more than 48 months. If you cannot afford the payment on a 4-year term, you cannot afford the truck. Second, put at least 20% down to avoid negative equity from day one. Third, get a pre-purchase inspection from an independent shop, not the seller's buddy. Budget $200. It can save you $5,000. Fourth, check the title history through the NMVTIS database, not just Carfax. Fifth, calculate the true cost of ownership before you shop, not after. And finally, if the deal feels rushed, if the seller is pushing hard, if the price seems too good, walk away. There will always be another truck. There will not be another chance to undo a bad loan. Buy with your head, not with your excitement. That is the only way to win in 2026.